Kumusta?
Kumusta? Kayo naman.
Oh, wow.
Maraming pangyayari. Always.
Thanks for your patience through the
Of
technical
course. Yeah.
difficulties.
Yes, of course. Yeah. So nice to be with the both of you here. Yeah,
You
thank you
too.
for having me.
Are you with your son? Or he's coming later?
He's coming.
Okay,
He'll
later.
probably sense it that I'm doing something. He's gonna be like, oh, he's probably gonna pop in here, but
No
he's good.
problem.
Yeah.
No problem. We're very excited to be with you tonight. And
Mhm.
Tita, you ready to introduce our guest for tonight on today's KAPWA Talk?
Okay, tonight we have a special guest. She is a mother, a wife, and a nurse, and she is a meningitis survivor. So let's welcome her to our KAPWA Talk. I can't wait for your story to be told in our show here. Is Annie Chang. How are you,
Welcome.
Annie?
Hi. Hello, po. Hello. I'm good. I'm excited here. It's my first live, guys.
Yeah.
This is my
Oh,
first live ever. Yeah.
Well, we always have a lot of fun. So just relax, be yourself, and we're just here to hear your story and to share your story through our channel. So we're very excited for you to be here and for sharing your talents with the world.
Yeah, thank you. Of course, of course. It's been an absolute joy when I started Ube Books. It's actually like this month is actually the first year my first book Nurse Mommies Are the Best. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm prepared.
I know.
It's a year old this month, and then yeah, so it's been a wild journey.
Happy anniversary.
Yay. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, it's been crazy. We've been doing a lot of October has been busy, and it's so far I think it's my favorite time of the year now, next to Christmas. And then
Yes.
we've been doing like pop-ups, and then I just got back from a Filipino American book festival in San Francisco, and that was really, really good and really, really magical and exciting. And just being around other people that are like passionate about like uplifting Filipino stories and then our culture, and then I think it has been like one of the best actually it's the best part of this whole journey, like when I started Ube Books. Yeah.
Love it, love it.
Thank you, po.
Why? I was like puzzled because of the title Ube. Ube, yeah. Ube, yeah. Ube Books. So where did you get that?
Books.
An
Well,
inspiration.
yeah, because for us Filipinos, ube, because like ube is really trending right now. Like
Mm-hmm.
it looks beautiful on pictures. It's very photogenic. But like for us Filipinos, ube is it's like especially for us that lives like outside of the Philippines, like ube is it's nostalgic for us.
Mm-hmm.
When we see it in our handa on the food spread, it feels it feels warm, and then it reminds you of like like home, and then and it's always on our menu, like it's in our snacks, it's in our cuchinita, in cakes, dessert, and it's a regular thing growing up. And then now that it has caught on, it's like a wildfire, and it's like it has caught on with different communities. And I like to take I also like to like almost just remind, because in the Filipino community we know that ube is like a Filipino food, but
Mm-hmm.
I think outside of our community it could be like, oh, like what's this purple, it's like a purple yam, but you kind of like want to take ownership of that too.
Mm-hmm.
But I really appreciate when there's like Ube Festival or like any other Ube brands. Like I totally support. And then that's why I got Ube Books, and I write children's books, and I just put the word book there, and it's it's easy to remember, and then it's beautiful to look at, and then yeah. So that's why I
Mm-hmm.
chose that brand. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is something that's really colorful and it stands out as,
Mm-hmm.
one of our things when you see ube, you're like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's Filipino, so we know that it's
Yeah, exactly.
Filipino inspired and it's nostalgic,
Yeah.
and I'm sure it's one of your favorite foods.
Yeah, it is. It has like I feel like it has a lot more now than ever. I really like it and really enjoy it, and I enjoy introducing Filipino food to my son and then to his peers. Um, so, like it takes like it builds up your identity, especially at like such a young age, and then that's kind of like that's my priority. Being a mom, being a Filipino American mom, or like a mom outside of the Philippines, I
Hmm.
think like one of my biggest priorities as a mom is to build, like to create an environment for my son to have like a good, strong sense of identity, and because it has been like it's challenging,
Hmm.
like if you're a mom outside of the Philippines and then um, there's so much going on, like on the internet with, like you're exposed to like different people, different cultures. And then, and you kind of like want to like just put, like, I want to put his feet on the ground and then just understand
Hmm.
that, okay, this is who you are. And then this is the food that we eat. This is our culture, and then I want you to like know this. And yeah, that's kind of like how it all started, actually.
That's great. So,
Yeah.
thinking on Filipino American History Month and our history and
Mhm.
our roots, talking about that, what really like brought your passion for reading, for writing, for books? What was that? Where
Um,
did that stem from? Was that from someone in the family? Did someone like to write as well, or
my
something
mom
that you've just?
actually does write children's books too. It all started. My mom's the pasimuno, like she's the pasimuno of everything. Like she has like she's very driven, she's very ambitious, and then I just like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then like you model your mom too, and that's part of parenting. Like parenting doesn't end; it changes as your child grows older. It changes, but this whole thing started when I graduated. So I'm a recent nurse graduate. I graduated nursing school last year. It's my second career, and then so last year was 2021. So I went to nursing school right in smack of the pandemic. So it
Wow,
was
thank you.
it's like, wow, like you're a student but not like, go for it. Yeah. So it almost like we became like I don't know, like with other people, but for me it felt like it almost like kind of like sped through how it was really fast. Like, oh, you're a
Fast
student,
paced. Yeah.
but like it's in the pandemic, so you kind of like have to push yourself more. And then like when we were doing clinicals at some part of it, like we weren't vaccinated yet.
Oh my
So
gosh.
it was scary. It was really scary. And then but like I made it, like we made it, like my whole cohort made it. And then so Ube Books, it all started like after I graduated nursing school, and I was really excited because it's been a long time for me. Like I decided to be a nurse like in my late 20s, but I'm in my mid 30s now. But like I got married and I had children. I chose to stay at home, and then so when I got to nursing school, when I got in, I was really excited. And then we and then when I finished nursing school, so I was just like, yay, it's I'm so happy. And then I was looking online for children's books about nurses. And then
Mm.
there were books online and they were great. And I bought them and they are just like, oh, like I'm gonna read to my son that his mom finished nursing school and all that stuff. And then it kind of like just clicked that there were no, there wasn't
Mm.
books about Filipino nursing about,
Mm.
like in children's books. And I'm like, how can that be? And then you kind of like have to understand it from my point of view too, because I grew up
Mm-hmm.
in the Philippines, and then it was kind of like, like you grow up thinking like, oh, there's like
Mm-hmm.
people from nursing school, like you spend like X amount of years in the Philippines, and then it was like that kind of like
Mm-hmm.
skill is like normalized in the Philippines, that like, oh, you're a nurse, like you're gonna like travel abroad. So
Mm-hmm.
like in my mind, so even though I'm in my mid 30s, in my mind, I was like, oh, there would be like literature about it. And of course, I didn't find any. So being like that, like it's the resources are available for me. I decided to start with my books, and yeah, And then I wrote my first book, Nurse Mommies Are the Best. It's dedicated for I dedicate it for well, first and foremost for my child and then
Yeah.
for myself. Um and then but you know, for everyone. It's for all the Filipino nurses that have worked abroad, and then there's a lot of stories in our community that like families are separated sometimes, and then later on you get reconnected. Some people don't even get that reconnection. There's a lot of like, you know, like a lot of things going on that that affects us because of this. But yeah, like I just wanted to do something for the community while I was having like my mental health break because you know, like I had meningitis while I was in nursing school too, while in the pandemic. So it was a lot. So I needed a break because I was burnt out. Yeah, I was really burnt out. I was tired. Being sick with meningitis, a very serious fatal disease, while being in nursing school, which is already sick, like stressful on its own, and then during the pandemic, and then being a mom, and then a wife, and then juggling all those things, like you know, like 18 months, 24 months. It's a lot, I think, for everyone, and then for anyone, I mean. And then yeah, so I decided to take a mental health break, and then it kind of just became a person on its own. Like it became its own being. And then after that, like after a couple months, I wanted to. So I realized too, along in my journey while I was in nursing school, that um, there wasn't like Filipino representation, despite of the contributions. Like one of the biggest like things
Mm-hmm.
that I really like why I started this because I wanted representation for the community.
Yeah.
So like especially during the pandemic, and this is not the first pandemic that the Filipino nursing community has supported. So like and we're very underrepresented, and then like even on the news, when I watch the news about pandemics, the guests that
Mm-hmm.
they have are not Filipino nurses. So for me, like you kind of like doesn't have to understand it from my point of view that
Yeah.
in my mind, nurses are like there's a lot of Filipino nurses, but how come I don't see it on like books? I don't see it on TV. I don't see it anywhere apart from in my mind and the people that like in our community.
Yeah.
So I started. I'm also prepared. Nurse Ube. You know, nurses are always prepared, but yes. So yeah, Nurse Ube sings karaoke. So that kind of like gave birth to Nurse Ube sings karaoke, and then and you know I enjoyed writing it, and then the characters around it, just filling it up with personalities that I normally see, like there's like in a karaoke place, like every Filipino has enjoyed or have been victimized by karaoke, but yeah, this is like a part of our lives. And then the personality here and the characters that I created here just reflects what I believe I see, like when we're hanging out or when we're just like
Mm-hmm.
enjoying each other's company. So I created Nurse Ube as part of another sort of escapism. It's a healthy, creative way to like escape, I think. So I created Nurse Ube, and then yeah, it's been like good. It has been a great reception from people, and then and it has been great. Like so, some of the characters that I have here, I'm gonna show you guys. So like garlic. So the personality of the food, it's the person their character is based on the food. Like garlic is always popular in like Filipino cooking, so it's
Uh-huh.
popular here.
That's so cute.
Thank you. And then you have here like lumpia, which is always the star of the party. So, you know, like there are just like other people just like to be like the center of attention. Like I'm not like that. Like that's why this is my first live. But you know, this is you know, there are like characters like that in the like in our community. And then of course you have Nurse Ube right here. And then my breakout star.
Oh, is
It's
that a
a
palaya?
yes! It's Amy Ampalaya, yeah. So look how cute she is. Yeah, so she's my
Bitter
breakout
belly.
star because she's so unassuming. She's bitter, as you
She's
know. She's a bitter,
bitter.
but she's look how cute she is. She's sweet. But yeah, so yeah, so and I love comedy. I love laughing, and then
Yeah.
so you have here, as you know, as like a Filipino, like as Filipinos, we love to laugh, and then
Yes,
you have
yes.
here Bobby Buko, which is always late, because Filipino time. But yeah, so I created this little thing, and then it just takes place in a karaoke place.
No,
Yeah.
I just love the creativity. It's just amazing to see your talent and to see like I wouldn't even have thought of characters to be like Lumpia Ampalaya. That's just
Yeah.
so unique and unique to our culture. But I love how you bridged, you know,
Yeah.
nursing and the books. It's just
Yeah.
amazing, right? Right, Tita?
Yeah.
And no, nursing, her ideas of food, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
but the
And then in
food,
a karaoke place. I mean, like I just wanted it to be like really Filipino, like really proud to be Filipino. And then yeah, I want everyone to like just
enjoy.
yeah, just like have a hold of that like pride that like we've been part of like the American culture for so long too that I
Yeah.
feel like we're a part of America and then we've contributed so much on it and then you
But
know
they
I
need to hear,
think
it's
it's
time,
time.
yeah,
Yeah,
time to
it's time.
hear our stories.
Yeah, especially like what you guys do too. Like I watch your videos too. And I'm like, this is so fun. And then it's just like a good way to like just enjoy like I'm just enjoying your videos. It's fun. It's fun. And then like you two clearly enjoy each other's company.
No.
Not really. But I love like not I mean I love the one that you were like you guys are so dedicated like even during the hurricane. I saw Tita just driving outside. Oh, the wind is really strong. I was like, yeah, Tita, it's there's a typhoon. And I'm just like, you guys are so dedicated to your to what you guys do, and then I'm just like, I love it, and then
No,
and it
this.
shows, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we love doing that, and we love especially this platform. Like every week, we look forward to hearing your stories because there's like that's what you're putting out there, right? Is the
Mm-hmm.
talent, and you know, me and Tita, it's all about you know hearing Filipino stories that people might not have heard about, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just been so cool. Me and Tita's journey, really kind of finding out so many talented Filipinos that are starting to be seen more, and that's what we want to
Mm-hmm.
do.
Yeah, yeah. It's actually like when I started this, and then that's how I get connected with people like yourselves, and I'm just like floored by the amount of talent that the Filipino community has, and then it's humbling, and then it's just the creativity. I think it's really really amazing, and then it's really one of the best things that I think I've ever done next to you know my son. But
Yeah.
yeah, like the creativity, Filipino creativity, it's out of this world, and you know, I really want everyone to see that and know that, and then you know to like I also like one of the reasons why I did this because I lost a lot of sleep during like Asian hate. So I was really affected by that. And then I you know like for me I actually like I love not love, but I like to fix things. Like I love to problem solve. And then so if I see there's like a problem, like I'll think like what can you do to fix it? What can you do to help? So like these books that I write, they're obviously mirror books because first and foremost they're always for Filipino kids because I want Filipino kids to know that their stories are worth sharing over and over again. And but also I want my books to be window books for non-Filipino kids or non-Filipino community to to take a look inside like how we live like how we eat or like what are the things that we do because you know like it's a bubble you know like as communities are bubbles and it's you know it's hard to like sometimes it's a challenge to pass through to go past through it but books are that's the power and magic of books it travels and then as long as you get that book to the next community then it would be you know like it's a step forward for everyone and then yeah that's the birth of like my books yeah
It's amazing.
yeah yeah.
Who's doing your illustration? Because it is very well done.
Oh, my illustration is done by my mom's friend. His name
Wow.
Fair Bus Bus, and then all of the talent in Ube
Amazing.
Books is actually from my hometown, Naga City, and then
Naga.
yeah, we're all Bicolanos, and we're all from Ateneo de Naga. We're all Atenistas, and then
Mm.
like I started like reconnecting to like my friends in the past, and then
It's amazing.
I started connected from like my friends in the past, and then they helped me out, because this like it's a lot of work. Like starting a small business, like that's one thing I realized. It's a lot of work, from
Oh
like your
yeah.
idea, putting it out in paper, developing it, and then selling it, and then reading it, and then it's a lot of work. But I like what I said, like I'm surrounded by creative Filipinos, and then it's been great. Like sometimes it's kind of terrifying how creative Filipinos are, but it's good.
So when was the last time you went home? So if you're Bicolana, Bicolana?
Bicolana. The last time I went home was before the pandemic. I think December 2019. Yeah,
Do you,
December 2019.
do you speak the language? The
Dialect. Yes po. Yes.
Dios
Yeah.
mabalo.
Ano po? Just mabalos. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. I speak Bicol too, and then that's actually one of the talents that Filipinos have, like just the ability to be multilingual. Like for us, like multilingualism, it's like an average Filipino could speak like 3 languages easy.
Yeah.
And then that's it's such an amazing it's such an amazing gift too. And then yeah. And then another thing that I want to point out since I have everyone's attention. So like the little red ribbon right here for Nurse Ube.
Uh-huh.
So that's actually like what you said, what you mentioned, it's for meningitis awareness.
Wow.
So I
Yeah.
use my book as a tool to spread awareness on meningitis. So like just general information and then some signs and symptoms for
Yeah.
meningitis. Because
Can you
ano pa? Yes?
can you share a little bit about that story and how like
Oh,
your meningitis story and how you found out or what
how I found out.
and you're just aware like because you're saying the book has symptoms. I'm very interested to know.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
meningitis, it's a very fatal disease, but it's easily misdiagnosed. The
Mm.
signs and symptoms of meningitis could be like an ear infection. I was one of those people that got sent home because they're like, "Oh, you have
Uh,
an infection. Here's some antibiotics," and then I took the medication. Obviously, it didn't work. So I went back to the ER once again, and then I totally just just had all these signs and symptoms. So some of the signs and symptoms would have, like fever, and then vomiting, refusing food, and then what else did I have? I was drowsy. I lost consciousness already.
mhm. Oh
Like,
my gosh.
and then like by the time I was in triage, I was already like, I don't know, yeah, I was already like vomiting, and then
Mm.
that kind of like pushed me. I got prioritized because I was really in bad shape, and then after that, like I couldn't even like stand up anymore. Like when I saw the bed in the ER, and then I just like, for instance, this is the bed, and then this is me. I just kind of
Mhm.
like myself here. I just hanged myself. Like I couldn't even like push myself anymore, and then I was trying to talk to the attending healthcare physician, and then I was trying to like I was mumbling. I was trying to like communicate like, oh, like maybe it's this and that, and then because I was a nursing student at that time too,
Yeah.
and then I just lost consciousness, and then I was going in and out already. Like sometimes I could feel them because I could feel them, like working on me and all that stuff. And then I could hear them talk, but I was already in and out. And then next thing I knew, I woke up and I was in the ICU.
Mm.
And one of the first things that the doctor told me, they were just like, "Oh, like you look a lot better right now." And I'm just like, "Why? What happened?" Like I
Mm.
really had like, at that time, obviously, like I had like no recollection. And then
Mhm.
yeah, it was really scary. Like it was almost like the type of obviously headaches are like the worst, like because it's like a pathogen that got into your
Mhm.
system, and then got into your meninges here. So you
Uh,
would have like headache, and then it's because I like if anyone had went through labor, it's so like labor is really painful. So
Mhm.
it's almost like your brain is like your head is going through labor.
Yeah.
And it was really, really painful. And then yeah, and then you have like the flashing lights, and then yeah. So
Yeah.
it was,
Yeah.
yeah. Pop.
Sometimes it's better for you not to remember all those stuff because it's gonna have anxiety. So if you don't have any recollection of really, really what happened,
Yeah.
Mhm.
it would be
Yeah.
better. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Some
Mhm.
one of my classmates actually, she was a ER tech. She was on shift at that time. And then she was
Mhm.
one of the people that took care of me. And then from now on, we were just forever. I'm like, she saw me at the time that I didn't even know what was going on. And then that's Tita, that's what she told me. Just like, it's better that you don't remember any,
Mhm.
because like, we have like, I had seizures, I had convulsions, and then
Mhm.
because like my fever was so high, and then
Yeah.
yeah, it was really traumatic. Yeah, there's sometimes there's reasons why if you can't remember it. And
Mhm.
it was actually really moving too because it was the same. I was on, so I went on the ICU and I was on the PACU too. And then I had my clinicals on that same floor on the cardiac neuro unit. I had my rotation there, and then it was really powerful. Like meeting people. Like I met the nurse that um, put a PIC line on me.
Mhm.
So I was just like, I don't know if you remember me, but I was one of your patients like 6 months ago. And then
Oh,
Oh.
like my head was like I was like I was one of your patients, and then it was really powerful too. And then seeing the doctor that saved my life in the ER, and then I saw him on the floor, and then I was just like oh hey I don't know if you remember me, but I was your patient. And then yeah, that was like a really powerful moment. And then
Mhm.
just meeting people that it was at first it was really hard because I was a patient there, and then you walk in as a nursing student. It's kind of like it was really traumatic, and then
Mhm.
really hard. And then so it took me a while to, and then we weren't like I didn't have vaccine yet at that time, so I'm like okay. So it was really it was a lot of like different sorts of challenges um with it. And then yeah, but it was also very powerful too, like to experience to be back there as a student nurse. And then like I assisted, I had like a surgery too the summer of 2020. So I had a surgery like in here, like a craniotomy, to
Mhm.
cover the hole that was the point of entry of the bacteria to my meninges. So
Mhm.
like helping patients that had craniotomy too. You're just able to connect with patients more
mhm.
on that level, because like once you're like it's hard, like sometimes like if you're a nurse but you haven't been a patient, like you haven't been on the other side of the bed. And if you have been on the other side of the bed, like I think the type of care that you just give to your patients, it's very different. The way you
Mhm.
talk to them, like at least the way I talked to them at that time,
Mhm.
it was just very different. And then yeah, so at that time it was it was also at that time I didn't realize it. That was also healing at that time, because this is all like in less than a year. Like
Yeah.
I was in nursing school when I was sick, and then I didn't stop. Like I still have like my pick. I think my pick line was removed maybe 2 days or a day before I attended the first day of the quarter again. So I was still like
Wow.
I still have like bruises, and then I was still having like headaches when I was like
Mhm.
I was studying pharmacology while I was like doing my own. I remember I was studying for a test in pharm where I was still doing my own medication, my pick.
Medication.
Yeah, so it was like I was just like, what is going on? And then but so it was hard. But and then I had surgery like after my exam in med surge, I have surgery here, like in my head. And
Mhm.
then I yeah, so I was and then I was on the the cardiac unit floor, and I know that my head was still inflamed because it was all like in less than a year. Like a lot of things were going on in less than a year, and then
Mhm.
but yeah, but I made it.
Yeah,
I
no,
graduated and I
and
was
honestly, it's Tita, right? It's inspiring for you to use your story and your struggle, and then to fuel it into something creative to bring awareness to that and bridging the cultures. That's
yeah.
something inspiring and almost like some things we experience in life we don't realize later, but it makes us a better human.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, it is. It's a lot easier to look at it that way now because
Yeah.
it's been like 2.5 years, I think, post meningitis, a year after nursing school. I think that's why, like, I always when people ask me, "How are you, Annie?" I'm like, "I'm bored," and I like being bored. Like, I don't like any happenings. Like, I just I like
Just
through life.
chill,
Yeah, like
relax,
there you
simple
go.
life,
I'm
like Tita
bored.
says.
Yeah, and I love it.
Simple.
Love that I'm bored. It's the best. It's my goal. But yeah, like it's just cruise through. But yeah, it's a lot easier to say it now. Like when you make it out, and when anyone who has struggled with their health or could say that every like when you wake up every day just looking things differently. Like a lot of the times I'm scared. Like I don't put my face out in the internet this way. But I'm just like, oh, they reached I was like, oh, Tita and KUYA, we wanna talk, like we wanna talk and have a casual talk. I'm like, sure. Like when I got like what do I have to lose? So you kinda like start seeing life differently and then appreciating every moment. Like you take in the happiness when if you're happy at that moment, take it in, like hold on to it, and then because like tomorrow is never a promise, and then it really isn't, and then I didn't thought it was gonna be like that for me, and then but that's I know it's so cliche too, but yeah, like tomorrow is not a promise. So if anyone out there that's listening, if you want to do something, just do it.
Just do
um
it.
just do it, yeah, and just like just love what you do. If you're happy, hold on to that happiness, and then just enjoy life. Like don't wait for the perfect moment. There's no such thing as a perfect moment. And then just start. Like here, like my Ube Books logo here, it's just something that I made, like
Mhm.
with my first book. I made this on like PowerPoint. And then yeah, I'm just like I'm just gonna make it. I thought it's like it's simple. I like simple. And then now like one of my friends is like, let me go help you. And I was like, okay. And then she created this logo for me. And then I love it and it symbolizes everything that I like. And then, the Philippine colors are there, their books and Ube Books is there. So yeah. So
That's awesome.
English and then Tagalog or Tagalog English?
English po and then Tagalog. Yeah.
Okay.
But alam mo naman, like, I mean, like, for us, it's, um, like our school system in the Philippines, like, everything is taught in English. So,
Mhm.
which is, unfortunate. But, it makes us, like, I mean, yeah, which is unfortunate. But, I still have to, hone my skills in writing in Tagalog again. Even though like I obviously speak fluent Tagalog, but in
Mhm.
terms of like the grammar and then just formally writing in Tagalog, I don't
Mhm.
think I've ever done it because everything is taught in English. We turn in
English.
papers, everything is in English, and then yeah, that's so it's English and Tagalog. All my books are bilingual. They're bilingual.
That's
English and
awesome.
Tagalog. And then yeah, I do the translations too. And then at first like I was showing my friends, they were like, "Oh, it's also in Tagalog." And I was like, "Yeah." And then they were like they they were like, "Oh, I haven't seen like Tagalog words like on books in a long time." I was like, "Yeah, I know that's so sad." but but yeah, let's go shake things up and then put our own language in there too. But yeah, so
That's nice.
Yeah.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, there's times like, it's kind of because you haven't been using it and you haven't been reading those Tagalog words, and even for
Mhm.
people who has been here for a long, long time,
Mhm.
hard for them to read the Tagalog words, even their
Mhm.
because they're not used of the words to put.
Mm-hmm.
They're not used to it. That's why they're having a hard time reading it, even they're fluent in the Tagalog words.
Mhm.
For
Yes.
example, like, I'm very fluent in Tagalog and I'm fluent
Mm-hmm.
with that. But for example, if I'm gonna read in the church for like in Christmas or something, the readings, and
Mhm.
I'm going to read that in Tagalog, I really have to really read it and say
Mm-hmm.
intonation,
Yeah.
and also comma or something like that. So
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we're using it, it's so different. We can speak, but when you read it, it's a different.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a totally like different skill, like even understanding it. Like other
Yeah.
people understand Tagalog perfectly, but
Mhm.
like, have like it's challenging to speak it. And
Mhm.
then because they're all just like different skills, like even reading it. And then yeah, it's
Yeah,
but
and what's good thing about your book is you have an English Tagalog, so that's the one way they can learn how to understand the Tagalog.
Mhm.
Oh, so this is
mhm.
a word, this is yeah, any word, this is
Yeah.
the grandma is Lola, so
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
it's a good thing. You're really
Yeah.
encouraging them to say the Tagalog words, learn it,
Yeah, exactly.
visualizing
Because
it.
like I want my son to be like familiar with it too. Obviously, I know
Mhm.
his primary language would be English.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm his mom, so his whatever second language he will be exposed to would be in Tagalog. And then so I want him to be exposed to it. Like a lot of the times it's like, Mom, I can't read this. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Fine. And then
Yeah.
just try. Like it's not a big deal. So he attends Kabataan Culture, which is a like an online class. And then
Cute.
now he's been attending that I think for like 6 months now,
Mhm.
maybe a little bit more than that. So now he's Konyo now. He's like, Mom, I want too big. I'm like, okay. I was like, how many would of this would you like? Isa only. I'm like, okay, so he's definitely Konyo already.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's how you learn it. Like what
That's
we
how you learn.
That's what we
yeah,
mentioned about Pat with last week with Tagalog time. You can say that in sentences, and then in the last one is a Tagalog word.
Mhm.
That's
Right.
you're
yeah.
fading it out.
Yeah. I think that's what I like when I watch Pat's like shows. Shout out to Pat. And then I just love how she does it. Like we listen to her like when we're on the way to like my son's school, and then so he could like hear like these little words, and then she posted a tip on oh hey Pat, like she posted a tip on like how to teach her kids, and then
Mhm.
just like replace like one word.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I was like, you know what, that makes sense. And then so yeah, so my son is Konyo now, and I'm just like, I want two big mom, and then, like, I love isda, and
Yeah.
then he would just like
Yes.
say those things. I was like, that's so cute, and then yeah, so yeah, I love Pat's like Pat's like skits are like the best, and it's engaging for kids too, like short enough for kids' attention. So it's been great. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yes.
Do you have
Well.
anything else, Tita? Or I have one last question
Okay.
before we start our tradition with Tita and Kuya's Kapwa Talk. My last question is, what's the next chapter for Ube Books? Is there more books coming? Are you working on stuff? Do you have anything in
Oh.
store, or you're just focusing on these
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah, there's a lot of books lined up, and then it's those are really good problems to have. My next book would be there's actually two. Like there's actually two up in line now, but one thing that it's at the back of Nurse Ube sings karaoke.
Okay.
It's Nurse Ube writes a pedicab. Right. And
Cute.
then I actually have a story on this. So my husband didn't realize that. So I talked to him about these things a lot, right? So he was like, "Oh, I didn't realize that Nurse Ube is the one driving the pedicab." And then I was like, "Why is that?" And I was like, "Babe, like nurses are underpaid. That's your side gig. So pay up your nurses, people." Yeah, so pay up. But yeah, he was like, "Why is Nurse Ube riding a pedicab? I mean, why is she driving it?" And I was like,
Mhm.
nurses are underpaid, so I was like, gotta pay for nurses. But and another one is of course for our Lolas, because I
Oh,
know like we
Aww,
have generations of Filipino nurses, and then I wanted to do something
I
special
love that. That's so cute.
too. And then yeah, so these two are the next ones in line, and then I'll probably
Awesome.
yeah. But there's gonna be more. Like I won't stop doing this, and then because you know it's for our community, it's for our kids, it's for the Filipino nurses, and then yeah, so I won't stop doing it.
Love it. No, that's awesome.
Thank you, thank you.
Your story is so inspiring using
mhm.
everything you've gone through to share these stories, and I'm excited to order some of those books for my son to read and
Yeah.
to experience.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
There you go, Tita. You have something for a Christmas list for my son.
Okay.
There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
On the record yan. That's my gift.
Yes.
No more, no less.
Yeah. That's the exact one. Yeah. Yes, full. Yeah. So yeah, I think yeah I'll be doing this
No,
for
keep it going. That's our encouragement. That's the talent.
yeah.
It's your creativity. Don't stop. Keep
Mhm.
going.
Yeah,
Keep
you guys
going.
too. You guys too. Like what you guys are doing is great, and then I love it. It's pampatanggal ng stress. Like it removes stress when I watch it. I enjoy it. I know you guys are having fun, and I'm
Yeah.
like, before I go to bed, I'm like, let me go watch an episode again. I really like the
Oh.
with the typhoon because I'm just like, just go home, Tita. What are you doing? Having a typhoon, just go home. But I love the dedication. You know, I love dedicated people.
Awesome.
Ah.
All right, Tita. I know. What did you plan? Anong pinano mo kay
Well,
Annie tonight?
I thought your son will be here, so I have a question about
Oh,
your.
you might need to pull him.
Oh, I could get him.
Yes.
Should I
I
get him? All right.
Special guest. Our special
Okay,
guest
give me
tonight.
like 10
It's
seconds.
answer.
Yeah, we need to know the inspiration behind her books, right? Her
Yeah.
son and her. So thanks everyone for tuning in. It's amazing to hear Annie's story, and if there's any other creators out there, if you have creativity, bring it to light. We have a lot of talents and a lot of people to share. So we love doing this and sharing people's story.
Yep, that's what we do. We try to help all.
Ayan na, ayan na, ayan na.
Ayan na. Going to ba?
Yeah, this is Tita Irene and KUYA.
Hi!
Oh my God, Bomba Star!
Oh my God.
Shut it off!
Oh my God! Oh my God!
You might regret this pagtaki mo. Sasabi mo, Mami, bakit mo ako pinakita na ako ay bomba star when I was a kid?
Alam niya din yung bomba. Sabi ko, ba't ka bomba? Bomba sa nag.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Henry.
What is
She
your
has
name? Anong pangalan mo?
What's your name?
Henry!
Henry.
Okay. Henry, I'm gonna ask your mom some questions about you. So I want to know if your mom knows really you well. Okay. The question is, how well do you know your son?
Oh, wow.
That's too easy.
It's easy.
Okay, let's see. Okay, Henry. Okay, Amy. What's your son's favorite color?
Red.
That's easy. Red.
Say it.
Oh, that's his name.
What?
That's his name, Red.
Kuya Red. I'm Kuya Red.
Yeah, Red.
Our son was named cool as Tyler.
Okay, don't say the answer, Henry.
Don't
Okay.
say
What's your son's favorite toy?
Spider-Man or Hulk? Is it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, what is your son's favorite breakfast?
Oh, that's easy.
Ube.
Pandesal,
Ube.
eggs. Oh, that's his lunch. Yeah, pandesal, eggs, and orange juice.
Is it right?
Is it right? Your favorite breakfast? Yes.
Okay. What is your son's favorite cartoon character?
Oh,
Easy.
Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Ube. Ube.
Okay.
You're new because you're already a noob.
I'm a noob.
Yes. You don't even know how to play Minecraft, so easy.
Gusto ba niya kumain ng broccoli or carrots?
Oh,
Hmm,
broccoli.
wala.
I love broccoli because I do not like carrots.
Yeah, he doesn't like carrots. He loves broccoli though.
Oh, okay.
Some people do not like diamonds, but some people love dirt.
Dirt?
Yes.
Wow.
They love it so much.
Yeah.
They make a new house, which is a dirt house.
A dirt house? Yeah.
What's your son's favorite book?
Oh, what's your favorite book?
There's Ube.
Ube?
There's Ube.
You're saying it.
There's Ube?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write on the screen.
Actually, sawa na siya dito eh. And if I tell him, I was like, you want mommy to read this book to you? He was like,
Okay, last one. What
That was me.
song?
huh?
That was me.
Favorite song? Ano yung favorite na kanta niya?
Oh, best day of my life.
Also, when the
What?
Spider-Man song,
What Spider-Man?
Spider.
it just shows up sometimes. It
Mm.
showed up on the radio
Okay, what is that song?
and at school.
Can you sing it?
I forgot the words.
How about best day of my life?
I don't want to do it.
That's your favorite song, best day of my life.
I don't want to do it.
Yeah, by Train.
Train, far train.
I think you very that's it.
That's it.
That's it?
po.
Yeah.
That's it.
Know him so well.
Yeah. I know
At
you a lot.
least his favorite book is Nurse Ube. So-
Yeah, it's Ube.
Did you even know I know. If I go.
If I go before
Ah.
I say, yeah, I know you like that song too. I know you like that song. I know you
It's
won't
so
let mommy
cute.
sing. You won't let mommy sing.
Wait,
Yeah.
hear this. Hear that.
Okay.
Look.
Yeah,
What's
all
that?
Pens.
Oh my gosh.
my
Thank you,
God.
po.
Well, we just want to thank you, Henry, and thank you, Annie, for joining us tonight and sharing your story. Again, keep inspiring the Filipino community with your books and sharing our culture and your love of the culture, and just sharing your personal story and using your creativity to bring more awareness to your story and to others. Any words of advice, Tita? Keep going. We always say keep going.
Just keep going and just inspiring other people. I think that's the best thing you can do right now. Share your journey and share your stories, and just hold on to that and just keep going.
Thank you, po.
And
Salamat.
thank you
welcome.
very much for letting us, for joining us here in KAPWA Talk. And
Yes, po.
enjoy every minute, every second of you just talking to you. You learn a
Yes, thank you, po.
Yes.
Same
Thank
here, po.
you.
Like, keep on going din po. Like, spread
Take
Thank you.
care.
love.
You too.
keep watching our Tita and Kuya on YouTube channel.
Of course, po.
Thank you.
Thank you po.
Bye,
Nice talking
Henry.
po.
Bugbog.
Take care.
Bye. Paalam.
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 See you soon.
Bye. Bye, Henry.
Thanks for watching Tita and Kuya. If you like this channel, like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.